guys, it's Emily from Naval Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my June book haul. I've been good. Yes, I have. I've only bought 24 books. I got gifted 3, so that is only 27 books that are going on my up bit. I've already unhauled 4, so as long as I've read 23 books, I've reduced my, as long as I've read 24 books, because you've got to go one down, I've reduced my TBR. And I already know the day of filming this is the 29th, and I've already read 34 books. So yes, my TBR is going down. But, and this is a big but, this haul may be small. Next haul will be massive, because I'm going book shopping with Gemma hopefully in the middle of the month. And then I'm going on holiday, and there are 11 charity shops in where I'm going on holiday. I sense me not being good. And it's me finishing up on Baz books for the summer holidays, because see, being a parent, I won't be doing my voluntary job over the summer holidays. For 6 weeks I won't be working at Baz books. 6 or 7 weeks. Don't quite know exactly how it's going to work, but I'm sad. Missed my Baz books team for 7 weeks. So I'll probably be a bit crazy in July. But anyway, enough waffling. Let me show you what I've got. Where I've got slightly less, I will give you a bit more talk about the books, but I still don't want this video to be too long, so I won't go into too much. So firstly, I will show you the book that Chris, my darling partner, gave me. Basically, Annalise, my manager at Baz Books, told him to get me this, and that is The Appeal by Jonas Hallett. I've been debating it for so long, and then Charles Heathcote told me to get this. He was like, you would love this. 1 murder, 15 suspects. Can you uncover the truth? This was all over BookTube at one point. Its sequel is not as good, apparently. The next book in the series is not as good. It's a murder mystery. I do not want to know any more than that. It looks really good. Really looking forward to that. Thank you, Chris. Then this is my ad PR project, and that was my tandem read along. That was The Visitors by Caroline Scott, which is a historical fiction, and it was really good. It'll be on my wrap up, which will be the next video where I'll talk a bit more about it, but it was really good. And then lastly, on my last date to yesterday, the lovely guys at EdPR Press, the EdPR, put up little Instagram pictures about what read-alongs are coming up, or, you know, for their blog tours. I didn't get a blog tour space, but they did say that if they had any spare proof copies, they would send me this. And that is The Other People's Husbands by Elizabeth Naval. I've loved this book. This book literally came out this month. Literally came out, I think, the day of filming this. Came out the other day. And it's such a massive book that I got a proof copy. It is a proof copy, so you can see it's a proof copy. I'll be keeping it. It is massive. It's like 600 pages. 6 couples, best friends, an affair that could ruin everything. It's nearly 500 pages, this book. It is massive, but it's one that I will probably get to in September, I think. That's my goal for that. But it's one I'm really looking forward to. Now, I've got 10 historical fiction books. Although, and then I've got, how many contemporaries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 contemporaries, 2 fantasies, 2 thrillers, 2 non-fiction. So the majority of the books, technically genre-wise, are historical fiction. I've been good. I've hardly got any contemporaries this month. What is going on with me? I've bought less books. Bought mainly historical fiction, not many contemporaries. Who am I? What have you done with Emily? Okay, so most of these are BookTuber recommends me buying these books. So I'm blaming my BookTube friends. First one, I blame Gemma from Gemma Books. There you go, my brain's totally died. The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. She has talked about this, I think. I'm pretty sure she did. I think in our little book waffle group, she talks about loads of books. This is more like a sort of Cersei sort of time of era. So I think it's historical fiction, I'm not sure. One of a kind historical fiction novel. Amara was once the beloved daughter until her father's death plunged her family into penury. Now she's owned by a man she despises and lives as a slave in Pompeii's infamous brothel. Her only value the desire she can stir up in others. It looks really good, it looks fun. That's Gem, it's got me up. Then we got a book that one of my subscribers recommended. I cannot remember which one. But this is actually a new release, quite a new release. And I got it for £1 in my charity shop because I remember hearing, when I was talking about books set in the summer or set in the heat, some of my BookTube friends, my subscribers, commented on Jenny Ashcroft books. So when I saw this for £1, I was really happy. only then to go and look in the works, and it was like £2.50. So, wow. It's set in London in 1941. There were so many reasons Rose Hamilton should ignore the advertisement. The war, those treacherous seas, her family, her fiancé, but she can't help herself. Within weeks, she's boarding an enormous convoy already too attached to 5-year-old Walter Ludlow. But then she's going off to Australia. But rural Queensland and the cattle station home of Walter's parents is not either of them were told what either of them were told to expect. This looks really good. I'm really looking forward to getting to that, actually. Then I loved Anton Dweck's book, so I've got the first in the series. I read the second, the first. Now I've got the third, and I've just got the fourth to get. And this is a Christmas Tremble, so this will get saved for Christmas time. And this is, we're finding out a bit more about the fact that the marriage of chambermaid Nancy Nettlecombe to debonair dancer Raymond de Guise. I love the second book. I think I'm going to read the first in September or November. So I'm going to save this for December. But it does look really good. Don't want to say no too much. Then we got Betty, which is, I think this is historical fiction. I'm not sure if this is historical fiction or non-fiction. But a girl comes of age against a knife, so begins the story of Betty Carpenter. Born in the bathtub of 1954 to a white mother and Cherokee father, Betty inhabits the world of poverty and loss and lush landscapes and blazing stars. Despite the hardships she uncovers, Betty is resilient. Her curiosity for the natural world, her fierce love for her sisters, and her father's brilliant stories are worth rekindling the fires in her own imagination. I've been told this is very hard-hitting, but it does look really good. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then, I wasn't sure who recommended this. I think it was actually Katie from Books and Things. But this looks really good. It was the winner of the Desmond Elliott Prize last year, actually, so it looks obviously good. It's The Manningtree Witches, which will be saved for October or November, I think. Set in England in 1643, puritanical fervour has gripped the nation. In Manningtree, depleted of men since the Civil War began, the women are left to their own devices, and Rebecca West chafes against the drudgery of her days. But when Michael Hopkins arrived, asking for bladed questions and casting damning accusations, mistrust and unease seep into the lives of the women. Does look good. Finally, I've got a short book. It's like less than 300 pages, but it does look good. Really loved it. Then I loved one of the Rachel Hall books, and this is another one. I love to think it was The Beautiful Spy. No, I've got The Beautiful. A Love Child or something like that. So I saw this in our charity shop, and it's dual timelines, I believe. The night before it all begins, Jude has the dream again. Can dreams be passed along through families? I do know this is dual timelines. I don't know too much. I think one of the timelines is set in the lonely 18th century, and the other is a present day storyline. So, looks gorgeous. Looking forward to getting this. Throw my paper tail again. And then I've got 3 books in the Seven Sisters series. I've got 1, 4, 6, and 7. So I need 2, 3, and 5. I will get them. So they're all found in different charity shops. The Sun Sister was found I think I can't remember which one. I think the Sun Sisters is like book number 6, I think. And this is about Electra. So Electra's telling me, I don't want to know too much about this. So this is historical fiction. So I've got this one. And this is mainly set around in 1939. Cecily Huntley Morgan arrives in Kenya from New York to nurse a broken heart. Staying with her godmother, a member of the infamous Happy Valley set, she meets Bill Forsyth, a notorious bachelor and cattle farmer with close connections to the proud Maasai tribe. Then we've got The Pearl Sister, which is, I think, the one before that, I don't know where that one is. Like I said, I can't remember which order. I think this is book number 4. And this is Cece de Please has never felt that she fitted in anywhere, but following the death of her father, the elusive billionaire, Pa Salt, so-called by the 6 daughters he adopted from around the globe, she finds herself at breaking point. These Seven Sisters books are massive. This one's like nearly 700 pages. It's 685. This one is 823 pages, so that's The Pearl Sisters, the smaller one. And then last week at Baz Books, my manager at Baz Books found the most recent book, and look how big this is. The Missing Sister, which is the last in the series, and it's about 800 pages. So This is the extra sister. So this is the search will find the missing sister. Search will find the missing sister. Will take them across the globe from New York to Canada, England to France and Ireland, uniting them all in their mission to complete the family at last. And this is, I believe, the last one she wrote before she died. So it's Mahusiv. Then my last historical fiction, and this is the second in the series of the East End Angels, and I have the third and fourth, and I had the first, but I want the second, so I got this from ABE Books for a couple of quid. So this is about the Frankie, Winnie and Stella, so I think this one might get read soon. This next library edition. So it sets basically around the characters of the first book. Frankie's grandfather is unwell. She promised him she would look after Ivy, her step-grandmother, but things between the two women are becoming increasingly strained. Then you've got Winnie's natural leadership skills put her at the forefront of the station, and she's soon making difficult decisions on a call-out. I think I'm going to read this in actually August, I think. And then Bella is beginning to drive ambulances and growing closer to James, while the love of writing is opening up new doors for her, and then she receives a devastating news about someone close to her. Yeah, this is going on to August TBR. So now I've got my contemporaries. I'm getting there. I'm nearly halfway through now. So the first one is a YA contemporary that's actually quite newish out. The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot. And we've got an older protagonist and a younger protagonist. I can't remember the other way around. So it's about 17-year-old Lenny knows only too well life is short. Living in a hospital, she's about to discover it's not only what you do with your life that counts, but who you share it with. Then you've got Lenny, who joins an art class where she bumps into fellow patient Margot and a rebel-hearted 83-year-old, and the bond is instant, and they soon realise that together they have lived an astonishing 100 years. To celebrate, they paint their stories. Good. Really screaming about that. Then we've got a funny one, Millie Johnson's The Yorkshire Pudding Club, and it's about 3 pregnant women, and it's 9 months membership and lifetime's friendship. The friendships bit of it seemed really fun. I really wanted to pick that up, so I got that. I'm not going to say any more than that. And we've got a great LGBTQI plus book that I found in my charity shop for £1, and it's about a young family. This is the story of a family, Rosie, Penn, and their 5 boys. The days of drama, laughter and tears, friendship and rivalry, and making order out of chaos. Then the youngest boy tells their parents that he wants to discover what he wants to do when he grows up. A chef, a vet, a dinosaur, a farmer, a scientist, a girl. When little Claude puts on a skirt and calls herself Poppy, her family love her just as much as ever, but it's not going to be that simple for everyone. That's really good. And we've got one of the latest Jill Mansell books. You know, I read a Jill Mansell book for the summer, and I've just read it and I loved it. I found this one for £1. It started with the sequel, was the last one, so I thought I'd get this one. And one magical night in Venice, Dee Dee fell in love, but it ended and he left without even saying goodbye. Now 13 years on, Shay Mason is back. The old spark is there, but Dee Dee's determination to ignore it. As a manager of a stunning Cotswold hotel, she is happy at last and soon to be married. Anyway, Shay isn't staying. He's made a promise to his father. He's going to keep it, and then he'll be gone. This does look really good. Then one I picked up when I was having one of my depressed days. The lovely Heidi Swain recommended this book to me, so I found it really cheap on Amazon. And this is the start of something. 2 people, 1 question. What could it be? And then Lachlan Wallace is stuck at home after a car accident stalled his army career. With only his rescue dog and cat for company, he's taken to gazing out the window, catching the world spin along without him. And then he notices a vase of flowers on the windowsill of the apartment opposite. Drawn to their hope and colour, he decides to put a message in his window. Bethany is a stranger to the new town, bringing up her son Noah by herself. She's slowly rebuilding her life, but loneliness is one obstacle she's yet to overcome. And then she's intrigued by the glimpse of her neighbour in the apartment across from her. It's really good. Then I think the last contemporary, and this was purely a cover by the Tea Room on the Bay. This is apparently, it's really summary. So I'll save that for next summer. And it's set after a tough breakup. Ellie returns to the only place she's ever felt at home, the coastal town of Sanderson Bay. A year later, she's living her dream, brewing delicious artisan teas and selling them in her own cafe, when the mysterious and brooding Ben walks into her life. That's really good. So now I've got 2 fantasy books. The first, this was one of the booktubers in my group recommended it, Ariadne. A few people have talked about this, and this is sort of set around about the sort of Circe sort of time. As princes of Crete and daughters of King Minos, Ariadne and Phaedra grow up hearing the terrible bellows of the Minotaur below the labyrinth. The Minotaur, Minos' greatest shame, and Ariadne's brother, demands blood every year. Looks really exciting. Look at it. Got this for like £1 or £1.50, but look how gorgeous this cover is. It's quite a new book out, and it looks really gorgeous. Then, obviously, the latest Bridget Kemner book, which is the start of the new series of hers, Forging Silver in Stars. This is definitely going on my August TBR. And this is basically, it's connected to the Cursebreaker trilogy, but it isn't. It's a separate series. And this is basically, we're going back to Style Shallow. And for as long as Jax can remember, magic has been banished. And then times are changing and magic has returned in the form of the Mage Smith king on the throne. But magic won't save Jax or his best friend Kaelin when the tax collectors call. A newfound love, Jax and Kaelin are desperate to take the stranger silver and to aid the anti-magical plot against the king, until Jax develops feelings for the king's courier, a handsome Lord Tycho, a man determined to discover who's conspiring against the throne. Suddenly, Jax and Kaelin are embroiled in a world of shifting alliances. Yeah, that's going on August TBR, no question. This one, it was a bit of a, I thought I didn't have a decent edition of this book. So when I went to the charity shop in Henley, I bought a new copy of it. I need to realise I've got a second-hand copy exactly the same. Which, a sneaky peek, when I get to my 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a matching edition to this that may be second-hand but looks virtually brand new. It's Rebecca, one of my favourite books of all time by Daphne du Maurier. Love this book. I've got my own full-price new edition. And I've got another one that I'm going to be giving away when I hit my 1,000. Then, like I said, you all know that I loved Silas Marner when I read it a few months ago. So when I found this on Amazon for like £2, I had to get it. It's my matching Wordsworth Classics edition, which I love. It's gorgeous. It's a short but sweet book, but it's one of my favourite books. So then something you would have seen on my Jane Austen July TBR is Northanger Abbey, but I wanted a nice copy of this. And that's the Penguins Classics editions. That's another set of editions that I'm collecting. And yeah, it's Northanger Abbey. You would have heard about me talking about it in my Jane Austen July TBR. Didn't really love it as much the first time around, but I'm hoping I'll love it in July. And my two non-fiction books are, the first one is Stacey Dooley on the front line, Women Fight Back. I like the idea of women fighting back. I remember hearing about Stacey Dooley, and I've watched her on a few other programmes. And this looks very hard-hitting, but go for women. Yeah, that looks good. And then one I used to hear about loads of times over the years, and I've yet to pick it up, a memoir of Tara Westover's Educated. And then Tara Westover and her family grew up like in a cult, basically, preparing for the end of days. But according to the government, she didn't exist. She hadn't been registered for a birth certificate. She had no school records because she's never set foot in a classroom, and no medical records because her father didn't believe in hospitals. As she grew older, the father became more radical and her brother more violent. At the age of 16, Tara knew she had to leave home. In doing so, she discovered both the transformatic power of education and the price she had to pay for it. So yeah, those are all the books I've bought this month and been gifted. Are any of those you think I should prioritise? Let me know down below. Are there any of these you want to buddy with me? Let me know down below. And thank you all for all your ongoing support. I think you're all amazing. The day that this comes out, I will be going to my daughter's sports day. So yay, go Mia, go Mia. She's going to be embarrassed by me. But let me know down below, what sort of books have you bought this month? Is there any books that you've bought in June that you're really excited about? Let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, bring on my ding-a-ling. I'll see you all soon.